Hello guys, this is Max with Avon Website Pro, and today we're going to learn how to make a featured image. Okay, now I'm using WordPress for featured image, but you also have the thumbnail on YouTube. You have, your social media accounts like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and so on and so forth. But we're using GIMP, our favorite program, to create a featured image. And so I'm just going to do my quick launch and type in GIMP here. I will show you guys how this compares to Photoshop. This is GIMP 2.10. If you're unfamiliar with GIMP 2.10, these last post I made on Avon Website Pro, and it'll tell you all about it. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and get this all on the screen so you guys can see the tools. There we go. All right. Now, the one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to here to go File, hit New. Now, since I deal with YouTube a lot, I want to make my thumbnail the YouTube size. Okay, so the YouTube thumbnail size is 1280 pixels by 720 pixels. Okay, so this is where I will create my image size. I'll put 1280 here and then 720 here. And I'm going to leave it at 72 pixels per square inch. Okay, this resolution 300 by 300 is a little bit too much, so we're just going to do 72. 72, just like so. Now we're going to go ahead and leave all this stuff the same because a computer screen cannot show any more than 72 dpi. So if you have this up to 300 or something like that, you're just going to be hurting yourself. So notice this is a landscape particular type of an image. That means it's wider than it is taller. It's called a 16:9 ratio. You could also look that up on Avon Website Pro because I talk all about it. These are different presets that you can have that they have in GIMP already if you wanted to use one of those. But since they don't have a YouTube one, we had to make it ourselves, which is 1280 by 720. I'm simply going to click OK. Now for this particular one, we're making a thumbnail or a featured image for my post entitled Install GIMP 2.10 Update. So what we want to do here is we want this image to be a good image and reflect, what I'm talking about in the article, and it's how to install the 2.10 update from GIMP. Now these are the layers over here. This is the background. If I come up here, I'm going to look for either the gradient fill or the regular fill. I think I'll start with the regular fill, and this tells me down here, that I'm going to do the foreground fill color, which would be black. If I would fill it in, you see it turns black. If I wanted the background fill color, I would hit that, and you notice it turns white. And to switch those around, I could, click on these buttons, and that switches the thing around. But I don't like that color. I don't like either one of these colors. I want to use a grayish background for this particular featured image. And so I'm going to go like right over in here, and this shows me my current color. And I'm just going to click OK. And now I'm going to hit once. Go ahead and click foreground color fill. And there I go. And that's pretty much the background that I want to use for installing GIMP 2.10. Now I want to show you guys something else too, because GIMP has like a little, I don't know, little squirrel, little rat, or whatever. So if I go to my Google and I type in GIMP just like so, I want to get an image. See how they have this little GIMP image? So if I go to images, I want to go to tools, and from the usage rights drop down, I'm going to hit label for reuse. Okay, and I see this nice little image right here that I'm allowed to reuse. So I'm going to right click, save image as, and I already have a particular folder that I'm using this for, so I'm just going to go ahead and click save it there. And I am on a Linux Ubuntu system. I'm not on a Mac. I just have it laid out. My theme is a Mac. So you could do that. You can pick any theme that you want to in Ubuntu. I like the layout of Mac, and so that's why I use it. So anyway, let me go to my folder, my desktop, and we'll go to GIMP, where I can indeed grab that particular image. I'm going to bring it in here, drag and drop. Okay, so there we go. I have my image thing in here. Now it's a little bit too big. I might want to resize it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. You'll see that there's all different types of tools. I have a rotate tool. I have a scale tool, and that's the one that I want to use. Try to bring this image down just a little bit here. Okay. And now I'll grab the move tool, and we'll take this over here. Voila. Now the next thing that I want to do is add some text. And I have some text that I want to put in here. It's the title of the particular post. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put install GIMP 2.10 update. And I'm going to just copy this over here. And I want to change the text. Right now it's sans serif. The size is 62. I'm going to bring that size up to 75. I'll probably change it again. But the particular font that I want to use is an Ubuntu font, because this series here is all about Ubuntu, and so I'm going to use Ubuntu Bold font. And I'm going to make this particular text, maybe we'll make it white. All right, so we can see that the color is white, and go ahead and just stretch it out. And I'm going to paste the text in here. Install GIMP 2.10. Now I could take this and increase the font size until I get clear across. And over here you can see I could have it centered, I could have it right, justified. And so there we go. Now there are Ubuntu colors that I could use, but I think I'm going to stick with the white. But I might put a drop shadow on this, because I think drop shadows make it pop out a little bit more. So let me go ahead. I want to go to my move tool, and I click on this, and I go up here to where it says filters. And there's all different types of filters that you can go, but I'm looking for this light and shadow, and the particular filter that I'm looking for is drop shadow. And here there's different presets that you can add. Right now I'm going to look at the I see it's the X position is at 20 and the Y position is at 20. I'm just going to click OK, and that's going to give me a base of where I'm at. And you can see that it kind of put this little drop shadow on it. If I wanted to come down here and see what it looked like without the drop shadow on the old one, I would highlight that. But I can hit Control Z on my keyboard, or I could go up here to Edit and then undo item visibility and undo drop shadow. Okay, so there we go. And then if I wanted to see what it looked like with it on, redo drop shadow. All right, undo drop shadow. Now I wanted to pop a little bit more. I want to look a little bit tighter, so I'm going to go up to filters once again, light and shadow, drop shadow, and the offset's 4 for X, 4 for Y, blur radius 15. This is a script view drop shadow, but let me click OK. And so this is the way it looked like in the old one. Now notice I have drop shadow down here, and here I can, if you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the video, but there's definitely a difference. Makes it pop just a little bit more. I kind of like it a little bit better, but I'm going to enhance it. So let me go back up here once again, filters, shadow, drop shadow, legacy, and we're going to increase this to 8, increase this to 8, and we're going to take the blur radius down to 10. Opacity, we're going to raise it up to about 91. Allow resizing, and I'm going to click OK. Now, notice how that's kind of bringing the letters out just a little bit more. Okay, and that's kind of what I want. I want the letters to pop just a little bit more. Okay. Now, the next thing I would like to do is get an Ubuntu logo, because we're installing GIMP on Ubuntu. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Google search here, where my images are, and I'm going to find the Ubuntu. Now notice that I'm still on labeled for reviews, so I'm going to UBUNT, just like that. So I can get that Ubuntu logo, and this is the Ubuntu logos. Okay, kind of look like this. Let me see if I can find anything better that I would like to use. I like this one. This is a nice one. But well, let's go back up here. We'll just use the plain one. And I'll right click, save image as. It's an SVG, but that's fine. So we can do SVG images. Go down here to my Explorer, desktop old, and GIMP. There's my Ubuntu image. Grab it, put it right here. And you see how it's giving me a width and height, because it's a lot bigger than what it needs to be. So I'm going to try to scale that down to maybe 500. See where we're at there, and then I can resize it. All right, there we go. I can pull this over here. And let me go ahead and click the resize tool. I'll scale it down just a little bit more. My move tool in. Put it in line with everything else. Okay. All right. So, well, there we go. Not bad. You know, I used free images. The one other thing that I need to put in here is my logo. And so what I'm going to do is go get the A1 Website Pro logo. And I try to keep it handy. And we're going to drag and drop it in here. And maybe we'll just keep that in the center like so. All right. And so this indicates what it's all about. Install GIMP 2.10 update. And we made this particular image in GIMP. So we could, well, the next thing you could do is you could go up here to File. You could save it in GIMP, but I'm just going to export as, and I will find where my go to Maximus, desktop old, go to GIMP. There we go. And I'll grab my install GIMP 2.0, install GIMP, and then I think I'm just going to leave it install GIMP, and then I'll hit export. And I'm just going to keep all of the defaults. I'm not going to care about interlacing or gamma or anything like that. I'm just going to click export. All right, and now I'm going to bring up my WordPress here. Down here where I'm looking for a featured image, I'm going to grab this, upload, select the files, and we want to go to the GIMP folder. There's our featured image. It's a PNG. It's better if you do JPEGs, but PNG will work too. Google's really wanting you to start doing JPEGs. Okay. All right, there we go. And I'll be all ready whenever I upload this particular one to YouTube. And I'll be all ready whenever I upload this to YouTube too, because whenever I do the video for it, I'll be able to upload it to YouTube. Voila, we'll be good to go. Hey, this is Max with A1 Website Pro. I hope this tutorial was beneficial for you on GIMP. how to make a featured image. I will see you next tutorial.